Hey, everybody. How are you doing? It's Monday late night, and it's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Cool. It's been a week, and I'm glad to be here. And I hope you're glad to be here too. Hey, Mike. Thanks for coming in. It's good to be here. It's been a week. It has been a week. I am a little bit discombobulated right here. I don't know where my notebook is. Usually I have a notebook handy and I don't see it and I don't know where it is. I think it's, oh, this will do. This will do. This will do. I have a journal. This will do. It's not the one I usually keep with me, but I always like to have one handy for notes and everything. So, how's your week been so far? How was your week last week as well? So far, so good. Well, it's been interesting today. Let me put in the weather. Um, it's raining right now. Actually, I don't know if it's still raining. It's been raining for the last few hours. Um, but we've been having these showers in the afternoons, and they've been heavy. So, weather for Montgomery. Conditions are cloudy with a temperature of 73 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing um, from the southwest at 3 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 100%. Hi, Shakira. Shakira. uh, how are you? Thanks for coming in. It's good to see you. Um, yeah. So, yeah, it's been hot, and then we're getting showers, and then after the showers, it cools off a bit. We've had temperatures in the 90s, low 90s, heat indexes over 100. Weather for Minneapolis, conditions are mostly cloudy with a temperature of 61 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the south-southwest at 5 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 73%. Hey, Darth. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, the rain's been good. We needed it, and we definitely needed it. I've been watering in the garden most days when I can remember, and I'm telling you, when I dig down into the soil, it's like this much is getting moist, and then down deeper is dry. So definitely needed the rain. Um, Weather conditions for Georgia. Conditions are fair with a temperature of 75 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind's blowing from the southwest at 6 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 90%. Um, but yeah, and then, like I said, it's been hot. It's been really hot. I would go out. I call myself going out and gonna work in the garden for, a few minutes, and then ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry. This is too early to start this. We're just getting started. But yeah, go out and say I'm going to work in the garden for a little bit. And then I'm out there for 5 minutes. And it's like, ooh, and then the sweat's just pouring off me. It's just dripping off of me. And then it's like, yeah, I don't know how long I'm going to last. And so, I'll come back and find, in a shady spot, I'll step into the garage, into the shade, and sit there, on the back of my truck or in the back of my car and cool off for a little bit and go back and do a little bit more. And then, Weather for Nanaimo. I can ever say that right, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. Nanaimo. Naimo. Conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 74 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the east southeast at 2 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 50%. Ooh, 50%. Yeah, that's the low for the group, isn't it? Um, yeah, but hey, it's that time of year. It seems like it snuck up on me, and it really didn't. What happened is, I went out of town, and I was, it went north. I went north by 10 hours, and and so the temperature was cooler, and then we were in the wooded area, and so it's always cooler in the woods than it is out in the open or in the city. And so by about 8 to 10 degrees, really, if you've never noticed the difference between um, that, but yeah, out in the open versus in under the canopy of the trees, it's a good 10 degrees cool. Can be cooler in the shade. And so I and then when I came home, it was like, whoa, what was that? Heat, humidity. What happened? And then the temperature went up and everything. And so, but luckily, kind of luckily, not really. I'm sorry, y'all. I do not know why this is happening to me right now, but yeah, yeah, it's happening right now. But like I said, it's warm, and I've had to go out. Let's see, couple days I've been out. I didn't go out Sunday, but I was out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and so yeah, it was like you get in the car, out of the car, the air's on, the heat is on. It's like I even noticed I had heat rash, which I haven't had in a while, but I got heat rash on my neck, and it was like, okay, it's not that hot. Now my body's just being was playing games with me, but anyways, um, but I'm here for it because I got stuff I need to grow, and it needs the heat and it needs the moisture, so I am here for it. Um, but anyway, that's pretty much what's been going on. I got y'all, if y'all have noticed, I've posted quite a few shorts in the last week and a half. Um, and I got my sweet potato slips, well, additional sweet potato slips in the ground. Um, so I'm excited for that. I have more to put in the ground, but I've got a clear spot for them. I'm working on that. I know I showed you where the blackberries have taken over two of my beds. And so I'm working on clearing those out. And I'll probably try to, okay, Mike, I'll probably try to post some videos of it once I get them cleared out. Hey, I can never get this name right. Beant 261, how are you doing? Thanks for coming in. But yeah, trying to get those two beds cleared out. I've got the blackberries cut off in one of them. So that the first step is to just cut them down. And then um get that moved out of the way with all the thorns and everything, because once you get down to the root level, there's no thorns under the underground. All the thorns are on the canes. And so once I cut all the canes down and get that part moved out of the way, then the hard part, then the next part is digging up the roots. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm digging up out the roots. And hey, and be at Bant 2601. But yeah, so that's the second step. The second step is digging out the roots as much as I can. Once I get the ones out of the bed, to physically move them out of the bed, then I can probably stay on top of any that pop up during the season and keeping the bed cleared out. And then once something else is in there, that's how invasive plants are. They take over. I can call you Miss Ann. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ann. um, I will try to remember that. I'm not really good at that, so yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna probably try to show some before and after pictures of those. And the reason I'm saying it on the live stream is to hold myself accountable. Hey, sweet time, how are you? Thanks for coming in. My blackberries and raspberries like growing. They're just growing leaves. These are native blackberries that have been planted by the birds and are trying to take over my backyard and my front yard and my side yard. They're just, I have them in several places around the house, and they got in my garden bed last year, and I didn't get a handle on them early enough, and so now they're pretty much taken over two of my larger beds, and so I've got to get them out. And I mean, there's things that you can spray on them to get them out, but I don't like to spray in my garden bed, so I'm digging them out. I'm digging them out, but I did harvest the berries first. So I waited until after the berries, after it produced, I harvested the berries. I ate the berries, and now I'm gonna get rid of the canes. Most of the canes, not all of them. I'm gonna leave some of them, which means I'm gonna be fighting them for forever and a day. But there's that. But I just don't want to spray. I don't spray anything in the garden beds themselves, or where I'm growing food, and so I'm just gonna physically remove them. That's it's gonna be shovel and hands and hose and whatever it takes to cut them where they need to be cut and pulled out where they need to be pulled out, and just physically remove them. And I know where the source is, and the source is in my gardenia. In my gardenia bushes, they are growing right up in the gardenias, and so yeah. Anyways, y'all, if y'all looked at my videos, y'all seen them, because I've posted a couple of short videos that have them in there. The doesn't do it justice, but they're there. And I do need to harvest some leaves off of them too, because blackberry and raspberry leaves make a good tea for some things. So yeah, late night cleaning out the garage, but listening. Too hot during the day. Yes, it has been too hot to do much of anything during the day, but I got to do it when I can, when I have the energy and when I have the time. And so I just do the best I can. Do the best I can. I do have I was thinking about it the other day. I said, I got this fan out here that I can put in the garage. And I do have a fan out in the garage that I can plug in. So when I'm doing stuff that I can sit in the garage and do, like, up potting things and seed starting and, stuff that you can do while sitting, I can put the fan on and it's not so bad. But stuff out in the garden itself, whew, yeah, that part. That part. Um, But yeah, I'm not mad about the blackberries, honestly, because they did give a good crop this year. Um, and I got a nice bunch of blackberries, and I love them. But they don't love me. I've got a couple of places where I got scratched, and what is, yeah, I got a couple places where I've got scratched, and it's so funny because I'll be doing something else, and I'll go, what is that itching me? And I start scratching. It's like, oh, that's where the blackberries got me. I'll get a rash from them, and so I ended up having to take um, some Benadryl between the blackberries and the mosquitoes. I feel like I'm just one ball of itchiness. But it is what it is. That's just part of it. Um, And, if that's what it takes, if that's the price that I have to pay, that's the price that I have to pay to have some good blackberries and to have, grow some food and to spend some time outside. That's just the price I have to pay. Mm. But yeah, this um oh yeah, I got my notes. I wanted to get my notes out because there are a couple things I want to cover. Y'all know there's always a couple of things, specific things that I want to cover. It's the mosquitoes and oh yeah, the ants. Oh, do not talk to me about the ants. Yeah, the ants are always a problem here. I've got a big ant bed in one of my beds, but I can't get to the ants until after I get rid of the blackberries. I was like, oh well, first let's get rid of the blackberries. Actually, I probably could put some. Well, it's raining every day. I was gonna say I probably could put some diatomaceous earth in there, but it's been raining every day, so yeah. I have this volunteer plant, which is either a giant raspberry or a tayberry. I ate some today. They're good. Okay, nice. Who is it? I had a friend who grew tayberries. Oh, Eddie. Yeah, Eddie grew tayberries. And raspberries and rhubarb. I was, I was sitting there thinking of where his garden. He lived up in the mountains, and he had just like this hillside garden. And I was thinking about how he had it set out there, but that's kind of cool. Um, Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to cover in our talk today. But gardening is one of them. Gardening is always on the uh, uh t- item to talk about. I have just a couple things that have been going on with at the garden. Like I said, I got my sweet potatoes, got most of my sweet potatoes in the ground. I've got a couple more that I'm gonna put in places, and I'm gonna throw some of these in some odd places just to see how they do, because I had so many of them, and I can't throw stuff away. Yeah, I just absolutely cannot throw things away. So I do have a couple places that I haven't grown. Um, any food for a while. One of them is on the side. I'm gonna put some in there because sweet potatoes are really pretty ground cover, and that side bed I think will be pretty over there. And then there's another little corner in the backyard where I've grown some stuff before. I think I grew corn there a few years ago, but I haven't had anything in the last few years, and so I'm gonna put some in there because I had that whole tray full of sweet potatoes. And I don't even know what kind they are. Somebody knows. Rachel knows. Homesteader Rachel knows what they are. She wrote down what the name of them were. But I don't know which kind they are. But we'll see. We'll see what they produce. Um, and but yeah, I'm gonna put some in that corner over there as well. Um, I think because I got some more. But like I said, I had that whole flat, and I gave some away. I gave a bunch away actually, and I still had a whole bunch left. And I don't need a whole bunch of sweet potatoes. I don't have a whole bunch of room to grow them. So there's that. Um, um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of what else is going. Oh, I don't know if I should tell y'all. I got my first plum off of the plum trees I planted. I think I planted these last year. I picked up two Auburn University um, cultivars. I don't know what, I guess that's what you call them. I got a Auburn University Rosa and an Auburn University Rubrum, and did not label them well, so I don't know which is which. But one of them produced a plum last year, which did not ripen; it aborted, and so well, it produced several, but it produced one that got close before it fell. But the other one produced this year, and I got a plum, and that's the only plum that I got on all of my trees. I got one, two, three, four, five. I got five plum trees out there, and that's the only one that I ended up with plums on this year. And that's because of the drought. Because all of them bloomed. Every last one of them bloomed, and all of them set fruit. And the peach did as well. They bloomed and they set fruit. And then we had a dry spell, and the fruit's gone. It's just gone. So I'm assuming it dropped the fruit. You won't know until they produce plums. How will I know? I don't even know what they're supposed to look like, the Arthex. Tayberry is a cross between a raspberry and a blackberry. Yes. I tried growing slips by sticking sweet potatoes a half inch deep in the soil of one of my raised beds. It's not going well. You know what? I put a sweet potato in water in the house, and it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything. And then one week it just like slips just popping up all over everywhere. So I started taking the slips off of that, and I put some of those slips outside. And then I just went ahead and put that potato halfway in the soil, and it's still producing slips. And so every time I go out there, I'll keep popping another one off and planting it someplace. And so that's the one that I had already started. And then I had got a whole tray of them. Uh, you won't know until they produce. I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. Which one is which until they produce? I don't know what they're supposed to look like, so I'm gonna have to go and look them up to see what the plum looks like. But I do know I bought a Rosa and a Rubrum, and I have no idea what they're supposed to look like. So, all I know is they're plums, and I love plums, and I'm kind of upset that I didn't get more, but I didn't do well by my peaches and plums this year either, because I did not treat them. I did not get to treat them, spray them um on time. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm looking at the pictures. Yes. Okay, the rubrum. Gotcha. I see now. The rubrum is the one that I think produced, because it's the darker one. It's a burgundy color looking, whereas the rosa is more of a, anyways. Yeah. The rubrum is red fleshed, um, and it's highly disease resistant. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Anyways. Oh, that is interesting. My phone is just too smart. Hey, GT Junior, how are you? Yeah, so I think it's the rubrum, the one that produced this year, not the rosa. But yeah, I'm not really sure. They look a lot. Grass seem to die off. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I lost two apple trees last year to the dry, the heat. It really was the heat, but the heat, made made I didn't I wasn't blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I couldn't stay up on the watering in the heat, and so yeah, I lost them. Um I don't have any combination trees. I thought about them, but I keep hearing that the die off on them, so I don't have any combination trees, but I need some because I don't have that much space. But what I was going to say is one of the apple trees that I lost, um, the root sprouted. And so I do have that one and I can probably graft something onto that, but I have to decide what I want to graft onto it. Yeah. But I may be able to graft something onto that and that so that's a possibility on it. And I think I want to graft a Granny Smith onto it, really. I don't know what it was. It might have been a Granny Smith, but I may get another one and graft it and then I'll have two. Or get a cutting from somebody to graft onto it. So we'll see. We'll have to think about that. But that's something for the future. It's not ready for a graft just yet, but we'll see. I forgot to spray my nectarine trees, so they got fungal disease in the spring. So no, no, that's a lesson learned. Yeah, yeah. I didn't get to spray my trees this year, but the plum, knock wood, was edible. So yeah, there's that part. I've got a picture coming, or a short coming of that one. I think I took a picture of it. I can't remember. Um. Oh goodness gracious, I am. I yeah. I have to. That's one of the things that I have to that I wanted to talk about tonight. Anyway, was getting ahead of myself in the garden. That's one of the things that I have a big problem with the garden is I want to do so much that I find that I get ahead of myself and I get too much going on that I can't keep up with what I have going on. And I think last year was a prime example of that. I had so many plants in containers. Um and I just couldn't stay up on the watering. And when it got hot, I lost a lot of plants. I lost a lot of plants last year, and it really was because I just had too many. I had three different areas that had containers, and only one area was really very easily accessible for me to spray to water them on a regular basis. The other two was not quite as accessible to me to get into them to water, and I just couldn't stay on it, and that it hurts. It's so funny how you get attached to those plants, and it's like, and you go and you see them, it's like, oh no, oh no, because I thought I had lost my asparagus, which I need to find a good spot for that asparagus. Um, but that's the thing. I get ahead of myself. I'll buy something and I'll buy, like you said, I buy trees, plants in 1 gallon containers before I have places to plant them, and I've lost a few because of the heat too. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'll order bare root trees, and they'll be delivered to me. And by the time they get here, I'm not ready. I'm just not ready. And then when I do get them, and I get them potted up and everything, and it's like, well, where am I gonna put them? And then it's like, well, I'll just put them here temporarily, or I'll put them here temporarily, and then that temporary spot, which is not a good spot, becomes a permanent spot, and then it's not a good spot. And so they struggle and I struggle with it, and it's like, whoa, 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 back up, back up, back up. You're getting ahead of yourself, and it happens real easily because it's nothing for me to be, sitting here on a Sunday afternoon listening to Broke going, "Ooh, I've got this tree from blah, 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 blah," or not even from, he doesn't even say from. He was like, "I've got this one and I got this." And I was like, "Ooh, I wanted one of those. Didn't I say I was going to get one of those?" And next thing I know, I'm online and I'm ordering a tree. And the next thing I know, it's here, you know. And it's like, oh no, I have this box of live plants. And what am I going to do with it? And that's, and then I had, plants that I had established that had been doing well for years, I lost last year because I couldn't stay up on watering them because I had gotten so many plants in containers, and it's just hard for me to keep up with containers. Hey, I planted my asparagus from grow bags into a new metal raised bed today. Yay! And that's the thing. I want to get a new metal raised bed for a shade garden. I have a tree that has like filtered sunlight under it, so a cool something that's for y'all know what I'm trying to say. That's not direct sun. Okay. And I want to get that because I gotta figure out, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it because I'm not ready for another bed. It's like I can't keep up with what I've already got, and here I am planning for something else. So I can't keep up with what I already got going on, and here I am. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's one thing that I have really struggled with. Really last year was really the first year that I really struggled with it. But I see that can be an ongoing problem for me because I want, I want this and I want this and I want this. And it's like I've got, all these fruit trees that need to be pruned, and then I've got all these fruit trees that need to be sprayed on a schedule, and the schedule comes and goes, and sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. And then I have all these trees in containers that, need to be watered more frequently. The ones in the ground pretty much can take care of themselves. If we go a week without watering, of course I'll give them some water, but, without rain. But in those containers, you have to water those trees twice a day in the summertime in the containers in Alabama. Or yeah, you're gonna have problems. They really and I mean, if you guys don't know, trees pump a lot of water. They really do. And excuse me. Um, yeah. And so I just need to, figure my come up with a plan is what I need to do. Is I need to come up with a plan and get better about that. Move this over here. I don't think it'll reach. I need to put it underneath. It'll reach. It just needs to be underneath. Okay. I don't think that's gonna work. So we'll try it later. I was reaching for my what is this thing? Heat heating pad for my hip. My hip is bothering me today. And it hasn't bothered me like this for months. But I went to PT today. I think I might have overdid it, and now it's hurting, and so I need to put some heat on it before too long, or I might not be able to walk tomorrow, or I might not be able to walk tomorrow anyways. But that's okay. Let me see. I talked about that. Um, when I was a kid, that we would always say your eyes are bigger than your stomach when you would, fill up your plate and then you couldn't eat all your food. Well, that's the way I feel about my garden. My eyes are bigger um than my capacity to care for it. I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. But do I have the capacity to actually care for that? And the thing of it is I'm looking at getting more, getting more, doing more. So I've got to get, my systems in place, and I have to get my routines in place so that I can do more. And the thing of it is part of it I could do right now. I bought like a drip irrigation system. All I need to do is put it together and put it on a timer and get it out there so that it can do some of the watering for me. Um, you know, and that would help for those containers. And I have it. I, I have I have those containers set up, in the right place so that the irrigation system will reach it. I just need to put it together. I got a huge raccoon on my railing. Oh my goodness. Raccoons are so smart. Actually, they're too smart for their own good, but yeah, they are. But yeah, I was trying to think of if there anything else garden related. Oh, I have not 30 pounds. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, Mike. I'm not gonna say it. That's a big raccoon. um, I have not planted my sorrel, Jamaican sorrel this year. I don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't started it. I don't have it started. And last year I did the same thing. I waited too late to get it started. And what happened? What happened? We got an early cold snap and brr, I didn't get a harvest off of it. It had just bloomed when the cold snap came. It had just bloomed. So I did not get, I think I got three. Three um a harvest of three. And it was like, really? That's enough to make me a cup of tea right now, and that's it. And yeah, well, yeah. The two things happened last year. One is I was late getting started. That was one. But the other thing is that even after I got them started, I left them in the containers too long. When I should have put them in the ground, I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. And so they were in a container and they were root bound in the cups and da 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 da. And so they were slow getting started. But I haven't even started mine. So yeah. Wow. Um, yeah, Mike. I heard about that. So, yeah, that you were starting a whole bunch of plants for your wife. Well, I want to know what flowers are you going to be starting because I have a little bit in front of my door that I used to have some chrysanthemums in, and now I don't have chrysanthemum, and I might put my Jamaican sorrel out there to be honest at the front door. Uh, Because you got bare soil, you might as well plant something, right? You might as well just stick them out there. But yeah, what kind of flowers do you have? I was thinking about some flowers. What I really want is some what is it called? Larkspur. I think I think you plant those seeds in the fall. Oh, I can't remember. I have some seeds for it. They grow tall and they're really pretty. Um, that's what I want to put in there. But I don't know what I'm gonna end up putting in there. Y'all, uh, can y'all just give me a second? Give me a second. What am I gonna do? I forgot what I wanted to do. Oh, that's what I was like. I forgot what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. Give me a second, y'all. I'm struggling right now. Um, I cannot sit in this position for another hour. Um, because I'm in pain. Um, so let me adjust. And then I'll turn the camera back on. But I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. Um, I'm still here. I just need to adjust everything to get a little bit more comfy um, because my leg is cramping really bad. But yeah, so I got seeds for Jamaican sorrel. Need to start some. I'm so late. Yeah, I have the seeds. I keep looking at them every day because I have them. Not only do I have them out, like where I can see them as a reminder that I need to start them. Um, but yeah, and then I did plant. I got this tomato. Oh, what was the name of that? tomato. I forgot what the name of it is. Um, okay, wait a minute. That means I'm starting inside. Okay, when it says got 20 varieties, 6 types of celosia, 2 types of zinnias, devil's claw nasturtiums, um, sunflowers, and many others. Oh yeah, I do have some Mexican sunflowers. That would be pretty out front too. Those are really pretty. That's what I'm starting inside. She has tons of various things seeded outside bulbs. I love celosia. They're pretty. I misplaced my Paul Robeson tomato seeds. I don't think I have any left, but I don't. I'm mad at Paul Robeson. That's yeah. But then that what was that thing called? Sart. What was it called? Shoot. Sart Ro Lois. Sart Ro Lois tomato, the one that's purple on top and yellow on the bottom. Oh, I don't know about that, Mike. I'll have to pull it up on my phone. Um, that's that one. I dropped the seed from that tomato. I saved the seeds. I dropped the seed from that tomato and it germinated. So, it looks like those seeds are viable. So I'm excited for that. And I'm going to be moving it outside. It's a 75 to 90 days. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. I mean, I really am here, but I'll be right back. Ugh. I need a drink. Oh, I'm laughing at myself because I don't want to cry. Actually, I want to cry, but it won't help. So I'm not big on crying when it doesn't help. Okay, all right. Mission accomplished. I should have done that before the live stream. I know, but I wasn't thinking about it before the live stream. I'm thinking about it now. Okay, there you go. Okay. Okay. Yes, that one, Darth. That Sart. Rolois. Yeah, that's the one that I got when I was at Baker Creek. I got the tomato itself. And I saved the seeds out of it and I dropped one in my hydroponic unit and it germinated. And so the seeds are good. And yeah. Mike, I'm sorry if it's the ads. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Better, guys. Better. Yeah. I just needed to adjust. I'm having a little bit of pain today. This is a pain day, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on because I haven't had some pain like this in months. It's been months since I've had a really high pain day like this. And it's arthritis. That's all it is, you know. I I told my doctor. He was like, "Oh, I see what's going on." He looked at the X-ray. He said, "Yeah, I see you've got some arthritis in that right hip." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And he's like, "Mm-hmm." And I said, "Well, if when you abuse your body when you're young, you should expect to have some aches and pains when you're older." And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, like I said, that's my story, and sticking to it. But now that I have this adjusted, I can um, I'm in a more comfortable position. And there you go. Growing season extends into November, so I have a lot of time for stuff. December through March, I want to grow more indoor stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to use my hydroponic right now to start some seeds to transplant outside. I do have some things growing in there, but I also am using it to start some seeds as well to transplant to outside because I do have a good um, a still all the way up till mid-November to grow. And then I'm also trying to be a little bit more strategic. Like I think I'm really going to put my um I'm not exactly sure about the sorrel, whether I'm going to put it in a container or not. If I put it in a container, that means that I can get at least 2 more weeks growth on it um, just by pulling it into the garage when the temperatures drop. And so there's that part. And so I'm considering that on it because if I had had just 2 more weeks on that sorrel, I would have had a good at least one good harvest last year. Oh, okay. Turmeric. I've been taking turmeric. Hmm. I'm gonna, yeah, I need to grow some turmeric. I don't have any growing, and I need to get some and grow some turmeric. But I've been taking turmeric and ginger on a daily, and am I allergic? But it's probably not that. It's so interesting. I was thinking, it's like, what have I been eating lately that I don't normally eat? Because maybe, maybe sometimes it's food that's causing it, but I don't really remember. Remember red zinger tea as a kid. I got seeds for Jamaican sorrel and just got them started. Oh yeah, I remember red zinger. I love red zinger tea actually. That was used to be one of my favorite ones. Growing Jamaican sorrel for the first time. Yeah. Yeah, I love Jamaican sorrel. I have plenty of it actually. Because I dehydrated it the first 2 years that I grew it, I had more than I could use, way more than I could use. So I dehydrated, and so I have jars of it still. But I've been drinking more of it lately, so there's that. Um, and I've also been drinking my hibiscus tea. I also buy a hibiscus tea. I think I've shown you guys that one before. It's the one called from Tazo called Passion. It's a hibiscus blend. Um, I drink it almost every day. But yeah, um, yeah, that feels better. Oh, that feels so much better. Um, Um, I was thinking about that. What else? Oh yeah, I was saying I got the tomato in there that germinated, and so that's what I'm gonna be putting out because that thing is I think it's indeterminate and it gets really big, and so I'm gonna have to stake it and put it out and stake it um for sure. I'm hoping that it'll produce some tomatoes. I hope I can find a good spot for it and where it will some produce for me this year because that tomato was pretty good. Um, and I'm trying to think what else. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, the stuff in the hydroponics that I have going in there, everything is doing really good. I actually need to go in there and harvest because I have some basil, lime basil in there. It's growing like crazy. I've harvested it twice and it's still, and then I've got some holy basil in there. I need to go in there and harvest. But it's growing like crazy. The A couple of the tomatoes that I had going in there did not do so well, and I had luck with the geranium kiss before, so I just went ahead and dropped more seeds for that. Um, the other one, I have another one that's growing. It's a micro dwarf, and it's supposed to be a micro dwarf, and I don't know if it's going to produce anything, but it's doing all right. And then like the micro tom, it never did germinate for me. So I don't know why, but it never did germinate for me. So there's that. But what did, oh, my ground cherries. Oh, I wasn't going to tell y'all, but yeah, my ground cherries are looking really good in there in the hydroponic. They have fruit on them. So I'm excited for that. Um, Definitely excited for that. Um, that's something I could plant right outside in the front door too. It's like what? It's like I said, what can I plant right outside my front door in that little bed right there? I really would like to have a rosemary growing right there, but I have killed more rosemary. Rosemary does not like me. It just doesn't like me because I think I have had rosemary. I've never had rosemary to last more than 2 years. Sometimes it'll make it through to the second year and it'll do fine the second year, and then somewhere along the line it'll go, yeah, I'm done, and it's gone. So that's not something that, definitely not something that um that I like, but I'm gonna keep trying because I like having rosemary. But yeah, my rosemary and my sage I lost last year. And it's like the sage I have had for 5, 6 years. And it's like, what? How could you lose your sage? Yeah, I don't know. But it was in a container. It was in a small container. It had been in that same small container forever. And it was, doing all thing. And then one day I'm like, I think that sage is not going to make it. Okay, I don't see any. Let me see. Is this working? Okay. I was like, is this working? Because I'm not seeing anything. But yeah, okay, wow. I have a rosemary with 10 years old. It's like 3, 4 shrubs and 25-gallon container blooms. And yeah, yeah. No, there's plenty of rosemary that grows in this area. There's a couple restaurants that have it in the drive-through. I literally, you go to the drive-through, and it's like this giant rosemary, but it just doesn't like me. It doesn't like me at all. And I've had it in containers. I've had it in the main garden bed. I've had it in, front door rosemary because I always used to like rosemary by my front door. I've had back door rosemary. You name it. And I was like, I know my husband thought that I was accusing him of spraying it with weed killer or something, because it was like he would spray along the fence line or something or whatever, and it was like my rosemary died, and it's like it's not even in the ground, woman. It's in a container. It's not even, and the container is up off of the ground, so it's like it's not even close to where he sprayed. And I wasn't accusing him. I'm just saying my rosemary is just not making it. It's not making it. But yeah, I don't know. I am the giant ass in the container. Yeah. I don't, it just doesn't like me. And I'm okay with that. I am okay with it. If I need to buy rosemary on a regular basis, I need to buy rosemary on a regular basis. And no, don't get me wrong, I have seed. I have seed for it. But most rosemary is grown from cuttings. But anyway, I had one this year. I've lost one this year already. Yeah, already. Already. I was like, wow, that didn't last long. But it is what it is. And if I'm feeling better tomorrow, I may go there's a nursery that I want to go to. I've been wanting to go to for a while, so I may go to the nursery. And y'all, I'm just only reason I'm sitting back is because I'm in pain, and this is just a comfortable position. So, but normally I'm sitting up closer to the thing. Maybe I can pull this a little bit closer to me, so y'all can see me. You'll probably fall on the floor and all of that. Maybe I'll pull that closer. There you go. So, but yeah, but yeah, I don't know what it is with me and Rosemary, but it is what it is. But that's the other thing I was going to talk about. I did a short video that shows what's in my green stalk, and the one that has the herbs in it. I'm going to put some sage in there. I'm going to drop some rosemary seed in there, see if it comes up. Probably won't, but I will. I'm going to drop some more lavender in there. It's got lavender in there. I've got true lavender, but I have some Munson lavender, whatever. I have another lavender, so I'm going to drop that in there and see if it comes up. Don't know. But I'm going to put some more herbs in there, um, because I have some pockets that don't have anything in there. So I'm going to put some more in there. But yeah, the rosemary and sage are two for sure. And oregano. For some reason, I had oregano. I had a whole bunch of oregano, and just growing in the yard where I used to have a garden bed out where my plum trees are. Um, well, before the cypress tree was there, I had a garden, in-ground garden over there. And I had oregano in that, and it was just all over. It was one of those that's like we just mowed around the garden area, so we kept the oregano from spreading too far in the grass, and then all of a sudden it was gone. Get pineapple sage if you don't have any. I have pineapple mint. I've had pineapple sage before in ground, and it lasted for quite a few years, but it was in one of the corners, and it's gone now. So yeah, I might get some pineapple sage if I can find some, because I do like it. That's something that I would like to. One thing that I would like to grow that I am not growing, that I've never grown, is scented geraniums. Have you guys grown scented geranium? They make really nice teas. Um, and they come in all different scents. But I don't know if they're good for anything other than just the smell of them and the flavoring for teas. But yeah. Oh, I wish I could do something about that. I don't know if I can or not. Let's see. You know what? I'm not gonna try it because then I mess something up. So then I'll mess something up. But yeah, I do have pineapple mint. Um, at least I had it. I thought I lost it too, but it's still growing. I need to pinch some pieces off of it and put it in some other containers so it'll spread because I really want a lot of it. It makes a really nice tea. I'll have to look into scented geranium. Yeah, it's interesting. When my husband and I, when we first got married, we spent some time in the mountains of North Carolina and Tennessee in that area. So Asheville, Weaverville, Chattanooga, Cleveland, in that area, up in the mountains area, Smoky Mountains area, the National Smoky National Mountains National Park, um, some of the national forests up in the Pisgah National Forest, Nantahala National Forest. We spent some time up there, and there was a little nursery up there. I think it was in Weaverville that made a nice tea blend. And it's so interesting because I've always been a tea person, and I have tea sets. I have, the teapots and the cups and everything. And I was always like, "Oh, let's make some tea. Let's make some tea." And we got a really nice tea blend. And I used to order that tea blend from them for years and years. I think they the couple who ran it, I think they passed on now. But for years and years, I would just order it and get it. And they came in these little tea containers and everything. And but they had a lot of scented geraniums in their garden, and it was nice. Their little nursery, it was like a really like a garden. You could go and you could visit, and they had trails, and you could see all the things that they were growing, and then you could buy um, the the teas, either the blends or the separate ingredients for them, and they grew everything there, right there on the grounds. It wasn't that big. It was probably an acre or less. Um, so it was a small, like I said, mom and pop kind of situation. But anyways, that's when I was turned on to the scented geraniums, and they're really nice because they have, there's a rose scented one, and there's a chocolate mint scented one, and there's whatever, all kinds of scents. And then they blended those with other things to make really nice teas. I forgot what the name of. Well, I don't think they're in business anymore, but I think they were in Weaverville, um, North Carolina, was where that place was. But it was really nice, and that's when I learned about scented geraniums. And I'm like, um, because there's a citronella scented geranium, which is just crazy. Because I mean, there's a citronella plant, but there's also a citronella scented geranium. So I don't know, whoever was combining those things. Um, yeah, that part. Um, oh yeah. Um, but yeah. Let me see. I'm looking. I'm consulting my list again to make sure. I think I talked about everything that I really wanted to talk about. Um, garden wise, I'm trying to think. Um, yeah, I was talking about the green stalk, and I've got two green stalks out there. Neither one of them are full to capacity. Um, and I've got two more. I think two more. I don't know. I I have I have one in a box, and then I have one not in a box. um, and I like them. I really like the green stalks. I didn't think I would because I didn't think the pockets were deep enough to grow all the things that I want to grow. But I found that so far they are deep enough to grow most of the things that I want to grow, and the things that I want to grow that they're not deep enough for, um, I can put into the garden beds, and so that saves me space because I can put things in them. I can put things in them that I would have put in the garden, and then I can have more space in the garden for the things that need the space. And so I'm really liking them. Um, and this and I'm saying this to say that as much as I like them, I'm still not using them to capacity. And so, like, I'm gonna plant another round of green beans in my green stalk because I'm planting green beans in there, and it's like, well, I've got one more level that can be planted, and so I'm going to put another one. But I actually have um, two more levels that I can put in there, and so once I get that one, um, with the two more levels done, and the other one with the rest of the herbs in it, then I'll be ready to think about the next one. It's like I hope to introduce more flowers into my yard. I only want edible perennials, though. Yes, that part. It's like I want flowers, but I want edible flowers. Um, or I want to have, like, I don't mind having I don't mind having like hibiscus, because you can use the hibiscus, you can use the flowers on the hibiscus, and I don't mind having like um even sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a nice greenery to have, to plant like in a planter or whatever. And I don't mind having sweet potatoes that I'm not using for the potato growing um in a container, because I can use it for slips and I can use it for the greens. So yeah, that part. Yes, the green stalks, they're expensive. The 7 tier with the spin thing at the bottom, yes. They I only buy them on sale, GT Junior. They have a big sale for Mother's Day every year. I think they may have a sale going on right now, to be honest. When they introduce new colors, or when they introduce the 3 level ones versus the 7 layer or the 5 level ones, they had a sale. And then but yeah, I only buy them when they're on sale, or or when there's um or if somebody asks me, what do you want, I'll go, oh, Greenstock is having a sale, you can get me these components. Like if my son asked me, Mom, what do you want for Mother's Day? I was like, oh, they're having a Mother's Day sale, so give me these components. And so he got me a spinner base, for one of mine, and he got me a couple of trellises, because all of the components were on sale during the Mother's Day sale. But they also have a sale earlier in the year, like maybe around Christmas or something. I can't remember. But whenever there's a sale, somebody will post it on YouTube that that a sale is happening. They'll definitely post it. If I see it, I'll post about it. My number one flower that everything loves is basil. Yeah. Um, yeah. I actually, the flower that I love the most in my garden, well, actually not the most, kind of the most. The flower that I love the most in my garden are my arm is itching from ugh, blackberries. Um, Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes. I love the flower on sweet potatoes. Um, that's one of my favorite flowers. That one and Jamaican sorrel. Jamaican sorrel is a beautiful flower. And that's why I was thinking I should put it right at the front door. It's like, why don't I put the Jamaican sorrel right at the front door? Because it's actually not a good spot for it because it doesn't get enough sun. But yeah. Oh, it's itching, it's itching, it's itching. I got a really good um scratch right there, and it's itching really bad. Uh, but anyway, but yeah, I'm trying to think if there's another flower that I like. I do like the basil flower. Um, and you know what? Another flower that I like a lot, onions. Um, my onions go to seed. My bunching onions go to seed every year, and I'll never ever have to buy another bunching onion in my life. I don't even collect the seeds. I just let the seed head fall over, and then when they start sprouting up, I just start spread putting them. Put them in other places. It's like, oh, let me put some over here. If there's a container, I'll put some in it. If there's a space in the ground, I'll put some in it. And so I have them growing everywhere. Um, I need to drop more basil seeds. I dropped a bunch that never came up. Yeah, I like to grow at least 3 or 4 kinds of basil every year. Just the regular stuff, but then the purple one. Which one? There's three. I think I have three different ones that are reddish or purple, and then the lemon one and the lime one. And I'd like to just I have a whole container just for basil. Um, the containers that you put your seeds in, they have a whole container. There's nothing but basil. And I probably have holy basil. I bet I've got 5 different varieties of holy basil. And I'm growing two of them in the hydroponic. I was looking forward to the tower basil. Nothing. Oh, I like I like them all. I like them all. I can't say I like one better than the other. I like the lemon and the lime one because they're great for tea, and I love the lemon and lime flavored um, things. Um, no, I take that back. I like lemon and lime flavored drinks, and so they're great for tea. But I guess they're good for cooking too. But I'm not big on lemon and lime flavored cooking. But they probably would be good for chicken. I mean, people like lemon pepper. I bet you lemon basil chicken would be good. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like lemon pepper though, so I don't know. I don't know. I have to try. I have to try it. I've got lime basil right now in my dehydrator. I need to pull out and put in a container. Um, and no, you don't have to use a dehydrator to dehydrate um, basil. You can just dry it, air dry it, and it's fine. But I have a box dehydrator, the square ones with the flat trays in it, and so it's really nice to just pull out a tray and put something on and stick it back in and close it because it's got the fan in the back, and then it's got the gap in the front, so the airflow through there. And so if you want to air dry something, but you don't want it to get dusty, you just put it in the thing and let it air dry in there. And that's what I do with my basil. I just drop it on the tray and let it. Yeah, yeah. Really? Mm. What seeds did you? Where'd you get your seed from? What seeds did you use? And I'm just asking for a friend. Just asking for a friend. I was just wondering, has anybody noticed? This is a good question. Has anybody noticed any seeds um, that um, don't huh, haven't been germinating well for you? Any particular seeds from any particular place? And I haven't noticed anything like that. Um, I'm not trying to. I don't know if I grew my cinnamon basil last year. But my lime and my lemon did great. I put them in the green stock last year. They did really good. I've got lime in the hydroponic this year. It's doing fine. Cinnamon too. But you usually do great in a hydroponic start. Yeah. Now I didn't start mine last year in the hydroponic. I started them from seed in the green stock. So I just put them outside. I just threw them in there and watered them in, and they came up and they did great. And it was full sun too. That one of mine is against the wall of the garage, and so it gets partial shade during the day from the wall. But the other one is on just a little concrete pad that we put out there for for blah 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 blah. What do you call those things? A fire pit, a little fire, portable fire pit. We put a little pad out there so it wouldn't anything. But and so I put the green stalk on that, and so it's full sun, and they came up just fine. It's like seeds from everywhere. Baker, Burpee, Ferry. I'll bring anybody home. Yeah, me too. Me too. I take that back. I generally will buy um if I can pick them up local, then I'll pretty much buy any brand. But if I'm gonna order them, I will get botanical interest and what's the other one? I can't remember the name of the other place. If I'm ordering them, I'll get botanical interest. Although I can pick up those at there's a couple places here that have those locally, and Southern Seed Exchange. Southern Seed Exchange is pretty much, I get a lot of seeds from them. Those are the two places I generally will order from. And then whatever's available locally. Locally, I can get Botanical Interest. Used to could get them at Ace. Used to have them, but Ace doesn't have them anymore. Um, what's the name of that grocery store? Whole Foods has them, and Fresh Market. I Last time I went over to Fresh Market, they had some, but it looked like they were phasing them out. But there's also another local nursery that sells them here, so there. Um, and then I'll get whatever I can get at festivals. And so if I go to a festival or a meetup or something like that where they either have a vendor who has the seeds, or they have a seed swap, whatever they have there. So I've gotten Baker Creek, I've got Haas, I've got Park Seed. I've ordered from Park Seed, but I've also gotten them at a meetup before. Um, there's another one. What's that other one? I can't remember. So right. I don't remember. I can't remember. There's some that I've only picked up at seed swaps. Um, my tower basil is botanical, and I've never gotten those to germinate. Really? Well, I don't know what I can't. I mean, I don't. I was just curious. Like I said, just asking for a friend. I was just curious to see if any of them were where they may be coming from. Um, but like you, I will pick them up anywhere I find. If I see something that I want, um, I will pick them. I'll pick up seeds, especially if they on sale seeds. I like them a lot. Those $4 seeds, I like them a lot. Those 10-cent seeds, if I can get my hands on them, yeah, I like those a whole lot. And the free ones, I love those. Those are my favorite ones, the free ones. Um, and those are some of the best seeds I've ever had. So yeah. Oh my goodness. I don't know why this just suddenly it started itching again. It's like, yeah, remind me that blackberries are not my friends. Okay, I got it. Well, excuse me, people. Yep. See what's happening. You see what's happening. You see. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you guys about stress. And if you don't want to talk about stress, I get it. And if it's triggering for you, I'm telling you right now that I'm going to be talking about stress. So, if you want to turn the volume down, or do something else or whatever, don't go away. I'm not going to talk about it for long. So we're also looking forward to lettuce leaf basil for wraps. Nothing. Now my lettuce leaf basil, I got those from Park Seed, and they did good. That's one of the first ones, the first variety of basil that was not sweet basil, that I grew was the lettuce leaf one. And I got those from Park Seed, and they did great, and they were huge. They were huge. I think my Renaissance grandma said she used those to make sandwiches. Or for basil wraps. Yeah, she used those for bread. But yeah, they're nice. Um, too. But this year, really the last 8 months, the last 8 months have been really extremely stressful for me. I don't know. Um, I can't say I don't know why. I know why it's been stressful, but they've been extremely stressful for me. I normally make beef wraps, but can't afford beef. Really, really. Um, Speaking of beef, Raph, okay, I'm gonna come back to stress. There's a beef class action suit, and yeah, there's a beef class action suit. Let me look it up real quick. Ugh, I'm just telling y'all. Actually, I think the end of the month. I think the end of June is the last to put in a claim for this. A 87.5 million antitrust settlement has been reached with Tyson and Cargill over claims that they artificially inflated beef prices. Customers who purchase fresh or frozen beef, chuck, loin, rib, or round for personal use from August 2014 to December 2019 may be eligible for a cash payment. Claim forms must be submitted or postmarked by June 30th, 2026. No receipt or proof of purchase are required to submit a claim. And then the following states are eligible: Arizona, California, District of Columbia, Florida, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Massachusetts, I can't say that word, Maine, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, North Dakota, Oregon, Rhode Island, South Dakota, Tennessee, Utah, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. Google it. Consumer Indirect Beef Litigation is the official website. If you purchased fresh or frozen beef and you live in those states, you may be able to file a claim. Yeah, that is a lot of states. My state's not in there, but hey, that's a lot of states. You may be able to file a claim. If you just Google beef class action lawsuit, the information will come up for you, or you can go to that website. So yeah, Mike said, my deep freezer went out last year. My upright freezer went out this year. The beef I lost, the stress alone will take you out. Yeah, that part. Yeah, when the price of beef. Yeah. But anyways, check it out. I mean, guys, if you live in those states, it might be worth it to put in for a claim. If you regularly buy beef, you probably bought it during that period of time. That part. So I'm just saying, if you didn't know about it, there's a beef class action suit. A lot of states are involved in that. And if your state is covered in that and you bought beef during, and that's a window, 2014 to 2019, I think it was. That's a wide window. Um, you don't have to have the receipts, but you do have to figure out, I think you have to estimate about approximately when you may have purchased the beef and how much. Um, so yeah, that part. And if you don't, I mean, if you don't file a claim, you're not going to get anything out of it. So that part, Anyways, I'm not trying to sell you on it. I just thought might want to know. I did not know about it. I heard about it, And when I heard about it, I was like, what? Wait, what? And especially since I eat a lot. I For a while there I was eating a lot of beef. I was buying beef pretty regularly when Publix would have the standing rib roast for $6.99 a pound. Yeah, I'd buy $100 worth of beef. Um, and slice that up and put it in my freezer, and I'd have beef for a year. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just cheaper than cheaper than bacon. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Uh, and for a while there, it was cheaper than eggs. And they would have the sales at least twice a year. They would have it around Christmas time. Publix would have a sale around Christmas time, and they would have another one around Easter, where they would have their standing rib roast on sale for $6.99, $6.99, $7.99, $8.99, $9.99, just depending on what year it was. But they would have it on sale for less than $10 a pound. Um, and sometimes it was less than $8 a pound. And so I'm like, for less than that $8 a pound, it was worth it for me. Now it was limit two, so I would go get two. My husband would go get two, and then I'd go back the next day and get two, and he'd go at two more. So yeah, that would fill up the freezer. But anyways, oh, I was going to talk about stress, and I was going to say there was a lot going on in my life. Um, Always, but the last, it seems like 8 months has been one thing after another, and it's been big things, and it's been a lot, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is coming up and this is coming up, and when you go through when they talk about the list of things that causes stress in people's lives, change is the number one thing that that does that, and there's just been a lot of changes, and I mean, just um just stuff. And one of the things that happens to me under stress, and you probably can tell from my face, because I've gained 50 pounds. And so my face is rounder than it was back, a year and a half ago, because I've gained weight. And why? Because when I'm under stress, I eat, and I don't think about what I'm eating, and I eat things that are not good for me. And so, of course, I'm under stress, and then my health gets worse. And it's like, wait a minute, I have got to figure out a way to deal with the normal stresses of life without putting my health at risk. And that's where I am now. Is what are we gonna do? I wonder if you will see a day when America where we're driving to Canada to buy steak beef. I'm joking, of course, but who knows? Um, the problem with that is, like, right now there's um actually it's already happened before. It's happened before. Um, um, we've been importing a lot of beef from other countries, but right now there's a problem with the beef that we've been importing from Mexico, and I forget what it's called, but y'all know. Um, and that's just not the first time that's happened. There's been another thing, but yeah, the thing with me and beef lately is I don't want it. I think I bought so much of it, and I was eating it so often that I just don't want it. We went when we were at the meetup, and they were doing steaks on the grill, and they're like, just we're going to put steak on the grill, and I'm like, I don't want steak. I don't want a steak. And it was like I was eating steak so often. I was eating steak 2 or 3 times a week because I had it. It was the prices were reasonable. I could, you buy big chunks of meat. I was slicing it up. I probably have some in my freezer right now. And it's like, I don't want it. I don't want it. And it's the same. I'm the same way with chicken. It's like I bought a pack of chicken, and I was like, I don't want why buy this chicken. I don't want this chicken. I don't want chicken. I don't want chicken at all. I don't want any. I don't want any chicken, and I don't want any beef. My husband says, "Do you want some pork chops?" And I was like, "Not really." That's not what I want. Right now, what I want is chocolate cake. That's what I want right now is chocolate cake. I want a chocolate cake, but I know I don't need a chocolate cake. I know that stress is telling me that I want a chocolate cake. My body's not telling me that I want a chocolate cake. My body doesn't want anything because I'm not hungry right now. But if I had a chocolate cake and some vanilla ice cream right now, I would be throwing down. You hear me? I wouldn't be on here talking to you. That's for sure. I would be enjoying my cake. I was like, I'm raising quail and gonna start fishing more. If they're that proud of the food, they can keep it. That part. If I lived in a place where I could raise quail, I would have them. I've been wanting quail for a minute, but I can't have quail here. Well, I don't know if I can have quail here. It's a technicality. Is quail a farm animal by definition? Is it a farm animal? And I say no. I say it's game bird. So I might could have quail since it's a game bird and it's not a farm animal. I guess it depends on what variety I get. If I get bob white, then it's a game bird. If I get what are those other ones called? Then maybe those are farm animals. So yeah, it depends on what kind you get. Um, I'm afraid of fish. I'm afraid of the fish. I like fish, but I only like certain kinds of fish, and I'm afraid of the fish because the water's contaminated. I refuse to indulge in these silly prices like you say they can keep it. Quail are considered pets. Some people consider them pets. Do you keep your pets outside? How many of them are considered pets? What's the number that are considered pets? I got enough beans and rice to live on for years till they stop. Yeah. I call them easy mode chickens. Well, chickens are considered farm animals. I got wild California quail across the street from me. Yeah, that part. And I mean, I can get bob whites here. I know a guy who sells them here, so I could get bob whites and raise them. That's not a problem. And those are game birds. Those are absolutely game birds according to Alabama Fish and Wildlife, um, and freshwater fisheries. They're game birds. I got but yeah, it's like and like I used to fish all the time, but we did catch and release because I'm afraid that the water's contaminated. So but yeah. But yeah, stress. That's what I'm saying. And for me my stress response is um obviously it's eating. But it's one of those things. It's not um raise as many as you want. They are not a loud bird. They don't need a lot of space. I'm really seriously thinking about it. Miss Sweet Time. I'm really Miss Sweet Time. I'm really thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I've been considering. What I've really been considering doing is moving. Is just selling this house and moving to some place where I can have what I want. And that's a lot of stress. That's another stress, another stressor. Um, but I've got to figure out something because where I'm going now is not working for me. And these are Cratonics Coil. There's an even a jumbo line. Yeah, I've thought about it. I've really looked into it. I mean, I was lining up. It's like, okay, first I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to buy this, and then I'm going to this, and then I'm going to get the eggs, and then I'm going to hatch them out, and then I'm going to have them, and I'm going to raise them, I'm going to keep them, and then I'm going to keep this many for eggs, and then I'm going to, harvest the rest of them, and then yeah, whole nine. I thought about it, had a whole process in mind, and then said, what are you doing, woman? What are you doing? Are you really going to do this? But it's something that I want. It's something that I want to do. And I thought, well, if I sell this house and move out in the country, then I can have my quail. And whoever buys this house is going to be mad because there's going to be holes in the backyard because I'm digging up all my trees and taking them with me. Oh, that part. But yeah, yeah. I live in the city, and I'd love to move 20 miles away to get out of the city limits. Insanely high taxes in the city. Yeah. When I moved here, I was not in the city. Um, but the city has moved out this way, and so yeah. When I moved here, there was I think it was a four-way stop. Was it a four-way stop? I don't even think it was a four-way stop at the crossroads. I think it was just a stop sign at the crossroads one way, and then the other way you didn't have to stop. And then they put in a four-way stop, and now there's a red light, and now there's two, one, two, three. There's three red lights. There's one at the beginning, at the entrance of our subdivision now. Um, when we moved here, our subdivision was the only one here. Now there's one across the road, and then there's another one down the road, and then there's two new ones up the road. And so, yeah, the city has moved where we are. Um, I probably could have gotten away with having quail when we first moved here, but now um, they got one of those. They've got staff that drive around the subdivision and look for violations. That's their full time job, is to drive around the subdivision and look for violations. Now, don't get me wrong, the HOA is they're corporate now. The same HOA are managing like all of the subdivisions in this area, and so they, like I said, they have full time staff whose job is to look for violations, and there's always violations. I'm surprised my neighbor's fence hasn't been um, written up because it needs repairing. So yeah, not that I care, because I don't care about that fence. It's not falling down, and the fact that it has a hole in it here or there, it has a board loose here or there, doesn't bother me in the least. But that part, and that it's propped up on my side to keep from falling over, that part. Yeah, that's the part I want to do. I want to get out. I really want to get out. Um, and if I could figure out where to go, that would help. That would be helpful if I could, figure out where to go. Um, but yeah, if I could sell this house and and purchase another house for what this sells for, that would be amazing. That would be absolutely amazing. Um, because I don't want a mortgage. I don't have a mortgage. I don't want a mortgage, and that's probably the reason I'll probably be here until I'm no longer here, because I don't want a mortgage. But I'm considering it. I'm definitely considering it, especially now that the boys are out of school. Both my boys have graduated from college, and they're off doing their thing. Um, yeah, that would be one less stressor in my life. If I can figure out how to get out of this house, um, get out of this subdivision, um, yeah. And there's a possibility. There's definitely a possibility. Um, just the next county over, there's a possibility that I could buy some land and build something over there. So that's something I'm thinking about. I'm definitely thinking about it. Um, but yeah. But yeah, I got to figure out this whole stress thing. I got to figure out how to deal with it. Got to figure out this diet thing. I've gained too much weight. My health is, um, yeah, that part. And I just, yeah. And the I don't even know how to put it in writing. I mean, how to talk about it. Put it that way. And the reason I'm talking about it is because I'm putting myself on blast because I want to be held accountable. I mean, even if I mean, I'm not saying I'm not asking you to hold me accountable. I'm holding myself accountable by saying it out loud and in public that I need to figure out a way to deal with the stress better. And this last 6 months I have not been doing a good job of it. Obviously I have not been doing a good job of it, and even now there's another stressor on the plate. Even now there's another stressor on the plate. I don't want to go into a whole lot of details of it, but um, um, just things that are happening. And it's like, okay, first there's this thing happened, and then this thing happened, and then this thing happened, and then this thing happened. And then just when you think everything is going well, then that thing happened, and then that thing happened. And it's like, okay, finally got that settled, and then that thing happened. And it's like, okay, come on, can I catch a break? Come on, can I just catch a break? And then and then looking down the line at things that are going, it's like, okay, once we get this done and taken care of, then maybe no, 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 because then there's that that's coming. Well, maybe once we get that taken care of, no, then maybe there's that. And then life still goes on too. That's the other thing. Life still goes on with all of the things that are happening, and so you still have good things that are happening. Um, Three things. Okay, I was really overwhelmed. The advice I was given to make a list. Three things. Only focus on those three things, and take a break when they're done. And then three more things. Yeah, yeah. I, I get it. And I'm going to say, but. I'm not going to say, but. But I feel like that's what I see. This is where I am. It's like, but what about, but what about, but what about, the things that I'm focusing on this week are okay, I've got two doctor's appointments this week. Getting to those doctor's appointments um, um, are the things that I'm focusing on this week. But when I go to the one doctor's appointment, what is the doctor going to say? I know what the doctor is going to say, and then it's like, then I have a decision to make, you know, and if I decide one thing, then that means this course of action. If I decide another thing, that means this course of action. And if I decide to do nothing, that means this course of action. And then what are the consequences of that? And the stress of just thinking about, okay, these are my options. Those are not just there's not just their options, there's other options. But these are my options, and these all of them have consequences. And then to try to go down and it's like, ugh, okay, all right. Right. Anyways, nope. But I think it's a good thing. I think you're right. And that's what I do. That is one of the things that I do when it comes to because like there's the other thing about what are you going to focus on right now? Well, in the garden, and I'm just talking just one thing. Um, the garden is the work that I do in the garden is not a stressor. It helps me to relieve stress. And so I'm going to focus on one thing in the garden. Well, that one thing that I'm focusing on right now is cleaning up that one garden bed. Just the one. I know I have this other one that I have to get to. I know I have some other stuff out there that I need to get to, but that the priority right now is that one garden bed. And I'm going to take as long as it takes. It can take me a day, it can take me 2 weeks, it can take me 2 months. But as long as it takes to focus on that garden bed and getting it clean, getting the weeds out of it, and getting it back into production. So I have a plan, And having a plan, whew, that, yeah, that's me in my zone. I'm that person. I'm that person who loves a plan. I like it color coordinated, alphabetized, numerical order, tabbed and highlighted. That's me. No, we don't catch breaks. We learn that life just is. We have good problems. Oh yeah, yeah. First world problems. I have first world problems. For real. Definitely have first world problems. Um, but yeah, the motivational speaker. I could be a motivational speaker. I have taken the classes and read all the books. So I know the party line when it comes to those things. I'm not real good at implementing it, but I can tell you what they are. I can tell you step by step how to do it. But when it comes to implementation, that's a whole nother thing. And I can't help you with that. That is funny. It's the same thing with with the house. It's so funny. I was talking to my husband and he was like, "Yeah, I got to get these clothes. I got to deal with these clothes. Got to get my ironing done because he irons. I don't iron. I don't iron. That's not something that's in my wheelhouse. Is ironing. I have an iron. I might have two or three, but actually using it is not something that's in my wheelhouse. But and I was like, "Hey, I'm good." I not only did I go through my clothes, get all of my clothes out of the laundry, get them hung up and put them away. I went through my closet and took out clothes that I can no longer wear and got them out of the house. And I didn't put them in the garage. I put them in the trash because usually I put them in the back of the car to drop them off somewhere and ride them around the car for a couple of years. I said, no, 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 no. We're not riding them around the car for a couple of years. We're getting rid of them. We're taking them out of the house. We're putting them in a bag and throwing them away because nobody wants my junk. You know, now somebody might want my junk. I'm not saying that. Normally, like I said, normally I'm a donate person. Normally I'm like, I gotta get this out of my house. I gotta get this out of my house, and I feel good about that. Yeah, I wrote it down on the calendar. Give myself a star. You know that part. I was running circles and ran right up on a dead freezer or a dead AC unit or car issues or down tree or where my dang basils or watering plants or this or that. Yeah, that's the part. Y'all, I talked to y'all about my AC. Did I tell you the whole saga of the AC? So the AC is working. Y'all can hear it in the background. The AC is working. Turns out ants. Did we talk about ants earlier tonight? Turned out ants were in whatever it is out there that, the unit that's outside, ants. And so the connection wasn't being made because ants had got in there and got zapped. They weren't alive, but they piled up in there. A whole bunch of ants in there. Guy comes out, gets that cleared out, gets the connection made, so now everything's working well. But thermostat giving me problems. So we're going to replace it with the smart thermostat. Oh no, it didn't want to talk. Thermostat didn't want to talk to my phone. You couldn't set it up without your phone. I was like, oh, we don't want a smart thermostat. I want a dumb thermostat. I want the kind that you go to it and push the button when you want it to come on. You push the button on the temperature that you want it to be, and you walk away from it and you don't worry about it. And when you want to change the temperature, you walk to it and you push the button and change the temperature. And that's what I have. I have a dumb thermostat. I had a smart thermostat that was programmable. Guess what? The thermostat and the unit didn't want to talk to each other. I was going to replace it because it was an older smart one with a newer smart one. It didn't want to talk to my phone. So yeah. Talking about stress, I don't need those kind of stresses in my life. I want a dumb one. I want a dumb phone. Can I get a dumb phone that I can make phone calls on? I don't care if it does anything else. Just make phone calls. I want a dumb one. I don't want a smart house. I don't want to start, you know. Okay, now I'm ranting. This is me ranting about things because these are the things that are causing me stress because it's so doggone smart. I got a smart car. My car is so smart that it gets a little corrosion on it and it goes, oh no, we don't know how to act. You're gonna have to take me somewhere, Tin Man, to get me some oil, but we don't know where the corrosion is because we got to put it on the computer to find out where the corrosion is, and it's going to cost you $400 to put it on the computer to find out where the corrosion is. Are you serious? We didn't know that it was corrosion until we put it on the computer, but we're going to pay. You got to pay to put it on the computer. This is me ranting about it, and that's what I'm saying. These are little things. They're just life. It's just life, and it's like I want a dumb car. I don't want a smart car. I don't want a smart house. I don't want a smart thermostat in my smart house. I want a dumb car. I want a dumb car. I want a dumb phone. I want a dumb house. I want a dumb thermostat for my dumb AC unit. How about that? I want to be able to plug it in and push the power button and it come on. That's what I want. But anyways, I put clothes in the back of the car and the window got busted out. So immediately it rained on them. Molded glass filled clothes in the back of the car for a month. Yeah, that part. Sometimes we have to get it out of the house. Definitely understand that. Exactly. Exactly. But that's what I'm talking about. Is one thing after another. And some things are small things, but some things are not small things because the reason my car was in the shop for the corrosion was because my key fob stopped working. I don't know why the key fob stopped working, but it does have a physical key. So you can pull the physical key out of the key fob and open the door. The key fob worked to start the car because mine has one where you actually put the key fob in a slot and that's how you start the car. So it worked for running the car, but it wouldn't work for opening the doors. And so when did I find out my key fob was not working? When it was pouring rain and thundering and lightning, and I'm pushing the button and nothing is happening. So I had to pull the key out, stick it in the door, open the door, get in the car. Now I'm soaking wet, and the key fob is not working. So I say, oh, well, it must be the battery in the key fob. It doesn't have a battery in it. So maybe the key fob is dead, but the car is still running. Maybe it's not dead. So maybe we need a new key fob. Well, that's going to cost you whatever, however many $100 a key fob costs for these cars. And so I order it. I get it. I push the button. It doesn't work. We're going to have to put that on the diagnostic. Okay, how much does that cost? Well, you know how much it costs. And so then we run through there, find out is the corrosion in the rear view mirror that's causing the key fob to not work. Are you sure? This is my question. I'm like, are you sure that that's what's causing the problem? Well, we think so. That's what the diagnostic says. Oh, and we're gonna have to order a part. Oh, did I tell you I have to drive 2.5 hours to go to get my car serviced because that's the only place where it can be serviced, 2.5 hours from here. And so they don't have the part, so I have to come home. And then I have to go back when the part comes in. So, a week later, go back 2.5 hours, they fix it. Boom, it works. Well, now I have an extra key, right? Oh, and by the way, that light back there, it's not your brake light or your reverse light or anything. It's just it's not your indicator light or anything. It's just a light, a light. Cars have lights on them that are kind of cool looking. It's out. It's not in stock, so we'll have to order it. Oh, you mean I got to come back? I need to call them too. I forgot. I really do. I have to call them because I have to go back and get that light replaced. But anyways, working on a garage tonight. I'm loading up my truck as we speak. I want this bad funk out of my life. So I'm sending it. Yeah. Don't send it to me, please. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. This is my life. It's like, oh, okay. And so you figure out this, you get this where you, as soon as, and that's done. Oh, yes, that's done. And I'm getting ready to go on a trip. And so I'm like, I need to have all my indicators on my car working, blah, 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 because I don't want to get pulled over in a state that I don't live in without a state tag by some highway patrolman who's having a bad day. I just don't. I don't want to do that. Don't want to go down that road where, somebody's having a bad day. So I want things working because I'm making this road trip and I'm going to be on the road for, 10, 12 hours, one way. Whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Okay. That was the AC. That was the car. That was the AC. That was the car. I told y'all about the water line. That got fixed. The AC, the car. Oh, the thermostat that went to the AC. But yeah, that got fixed. I want a dumb car. Can I get a dumb car? I want a dumb car. But yeah, water line. Well, the water line that they replaced the water line. It's whatever they made it out of. He said it'll last 100 years. Oh, cool. But I won't be here 100 years, so why do I care? Yeah. But anyways, that's what I'm saying. These are just normal life things. Normal life things that cause stress. Normal life things that cause stress, and then I'm not dealing with it properly. And so I got to get myself together. And so you're right. Make a list. What's next? Check. What are we going to deal with? Check. Check. I need to add some fun stuff on the list, even though we're dealing with the stuff that's not fun. Can we have some fun stuff on the list, and can that be a priority? Dead seriously. I think they're going to pull me over for anything. That's how I feel, sweet time. That's how I feel when I'm on the highway. I don't want to give them any reason to pull me over. And I drive a red car because they don't like red cars. So I drive a red car, so I can't have anything wrong with the car that gives them a reason to pull me over, and while they're having a bad day, because they're never having a good day when they pull you over. When they pull you over and you go, "Hey, so good to see you." I swear, honest to God, I swear to you. Y'all know y'all think I'm lying. I was in a car with a friend of mine. This is back in the day, back when I was young and foolish. I was in a car with a friend of mine, and we're driving. It's nighttime. It is in the west end of, it's somewhere in rural South Carolina. Yeah. And the blue lights come on. I'm like, oh no. I don't even remember where we're going, where we're coming from. But I promise you, we were less than a quarter of a mile from my house. Literally, I could have jumped out the door and ran through the yard behind my neighbor's house and over into my house, and I would have been home. And I considered it. I honestly considered it. Blue lights pull us over, so he pulled over. I'm like, gosh, we are so close to home. She rolls the window down in the car. Officer comes up, and he goes, "Hey, what you doing?" She's like, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you." I'm like, who does this? I don't remember why he pulled us over. We weren't speeding because we were about to turn into my neighborhood. I don't know whether he pulled her over because he knew who it was and just wanted to say, "Hey," or whether she had a light out and he just wanted to tell her, "You need to get that fixed." I don't remember why. But who do you know who gets pulled over and the officer goes, "Hey, good to see you." And it's like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in a minute." And they have a conversation. We sat there for 30 minutes. They're talking back and forth, having a conversation. I'm sitting in the car like this. Y'all know. You see my hands. Waiting for it to be over. When it's over, she's like, "What is wrong with you?" I'm like, "Honey, we don't get pulled over by cops at night and walk away from it." all the time. She was like, "Oh, that was just so and so." Yeah, that part. Anyways, I really want a Coney Island hot dog, but I don't have teleportation device, time machine to get over there to get one. That part. Anyway, same here. I don't want to pay a monthly subscription for the windshield wipers. Oh my word. Oh my gosh. I don't know about the windshield wipers, but that part. I don't. Yeah, that part. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's all I'm saying. Oh, hey. I'm sitting over here in the passenger seat, just minding my business. Here's my hands. I'm not jumping out the car and running, although I want to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to sit here. That part. That is the only, I promise you, the only time in my life I have ever been pulled over by an officer who just wanted to chat and have a, visit with a friend. That's the only time. And my heart couldn't hardly take it. I stopped going places with her. We were supposed to go to a beach, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to the beach with you because she was a magnet for bad things. Yeah, she was a magnet for bad things. So I was gonna grill hot dogs Saturday, normally $12 for Nathan's beef hot dogs, and $22. Are you serious, Mike? You need to move. Surely, no. No. How many, Mike? How many hot dogs for that price? Cause um, what size package of that is that? I just want to know what size package is that because um, I don't I don't know. I just don't know. I'm looking because I'm like, what? I don't see them. Oh, Nathan's famous bunlet. They don't have the colossal ones. I'm like, I don't know. Oh, I see them. Compare prices. Um, 14.99. $14.99 is what they are here at Superfoods. Oh, Kroger has them. I don't know how much they are at Kroger. $12.99 at Kroger. I'm like, you need to move. If that's what they're charging for food, yeah, you need to move. That's ridiculous. $12.99 at Kroger. That's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. Okay. That's another thing. That's another thing too. The cost of living. That's the thing. That's the problem that I have with the possibility of moving. Um, I can't move out of Alabama if the cost of living is going to be substantially higher. Because yeah, that's the yeah that I just can't. I cannot. It's like I cannot because yeah, you got to make it. Yeah, money has to stretch. I was talking to my son about living thin. He's like, "Mama, what does that even mean?" I was like, living thin. I know how to live thin. I know how to make my money stretch. I know how um, I know how to make my budget stretch further. You need to learn how to live thin. It's like we never had to live thin when you were coming up. Actually, we did have to live thin when he was coming up because my husband was out of work for a few years, and that was kind of tough for us. But the kids were small enough that they didn't, they didn't have to, they didn't really feel the pinch of it. Put it that way. Um, and I remember that the first year when Christmas came around, and one of my coworkers asked me after the holiday, was like, "How was your Christmas?" I was like, "How the heck do you think my Christmas was?" I was like, I can't believe you just asked me that question. How do you heck do you think my Christmas was? And the reason I said it that way is because my husband and I both work for the same agency, and so they knew that he wasn't working. And I was like, Um, did we have a Christmas? That's what you should be asking. Did we even have a Christmas? When, one of the incomes in the household is gone, completely gone, and yeah, there's two children in the house and there's two children in other households that, have to be maintained. Did we even have a Christmas? And so yeah, that part. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to explain to my children how to live thin. Um, They know we're not driving to Texas for meat or Maine for seafood, so they charge crazy prices. That part, yeah, that part. Um, yeah, I eat seafood when we go to the beach. That's one of the things that if we go to the beach for any reason, um, for whatever reason, that's when I eat seafood because it's local and the prices are reasonable, and it's fresh. I don't want what I can get here. And I mean, I'm only 2 hours, 2.5 hours from the beach, so it's still relatively fresh here. But even so, I don't even buy it here because yeah, that part. But yeah, this generation, this younger generation, doesn't know how to live thin. They don't know how to make their dollar stretch. They don't know how to eat meals on a budget and still be able to eat. They don't know how to grow their own food, and it's like, dude, there's so many things that you don't have to buy. Um, so yeah, for those prices, I need to come and set up in the corner. Yeah, that part. Set up on the corner for real, for real. Yeah, but yeah, my kids are they're adults now, and so we're talking, and they're managing their own budgets finally they're really working hard on, figuring out how to manage their own budgets and live within in their means. And I told them, it's like, look, do a meal budget with this amount of money and that part. Oof. Oscar Mayer bologna, 12 ounces, 6.49. I just look. Yeah. Why would I pay 6.49 for bologna when I can pay 6.99 and get a standing rib roast a pound? That's what I'm saying. 12 ounces for 6.99, not a pound, not even a pound. And I could get, a standing rib roast for 10 for 6.99 a pound. That's, yeah. Not no, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That part. Um, but yeah, I was getting some meat the other day. I was getting some chicken, and the chicken legs were 1.99 a pound. The chicken wings were 4.99 a pound. I was like, legs it is. It's like that was a no-brainer, right? Poverty foods for premium prices. How much for beans and rice? The beans and rice are still relatively cheap. But don't try to season them with anything, because seasoning, what used to be seasoning meat, which was the ends of things, of smoked things, they would have a smoked ham, but there would be end pieces that you could get for, less than. No, mm-mm. Like smoked turkey tails. Oh my word. Those things are outrageous. Um, wow. Yeah. I believe you, Mike. The dogs are on sale for 17.99. I believe you, Mike. I believe you. It's just, I was like, that's what I'm saying. You need to move. You need to move because we're not paying those prices yet. We're not paying those prices yet. I was just driving down the highway today and I looked at the price of gas. The price of gas was 3.39 per gallon today. And I was like, wow, that's a decent price. I need to top my I need to top it off. Even though it's going down, I need to top it off while it's there because it could flip and go back up tomorrow. That part. And plus I don't have anywhere to go. So if I go ahead and top it off now, I won't have to get gas for a while. But I didn't. I did not. Because I didn't. But I should have, because on the road, um, the gas prices on the road between here and Missouri fluctuated between 3.78 to over $4 a gallon. Um, and that was just a week ago. It was 3.78 here when I left, and now it's 3.39 here. So yeah, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And you look at the price of food, and you look at, uh, and I keep saying to myself, I get up in the morning and go, hmm, I'm hungry. Should I go out and eat? No, you should not go out and eat. You should cook something because it's cheaper to cook something than it is to go out and eat. And it's like when I look at, you can't get breakfast for less than 15 bucks. You used to get breakfast for 7.99 at Waffle House. All-star breakfast for 7.99. When that wasn't that many years ago. That wasn't that long ago. And now I think it's $12. It's almost doubled. So yeah, it's crazy when you start thinking about that. And it's like, yep, nope, not gonna do that. And then don't think about, any of the other places where, where you might go out to get, a breakfast. Because that's all of it, everything else is going to be higher than that. So it's just ridiculous. And breakfast is a cheap meal to fix. It's like, why are you charging so much for that? I can fix that same meal. Well, I might as well fix it. I can fix that exact same meal for the amount of money that I'm spending on that meal. I can eat breakfast for a week. So, yeah, we're done with that. Can't get any meals for less than $15, but there's nothing on the plate. Yeah, that part. That was the one thing I have to say about the last trip um I took. I paying more for hot trash, that part. I didn't eat on the road. I mean, I didn't. Did I eat out? Seems like I ate out one day. Yeah, I ate out one day because I stayed. I did stay. I stayed in a hotel. I stayed in a hotel for 2 nights, and so I ate out one meal. Um, but I packed food for the trip like we used to when we was coming up. We packed food for the trip, so I had food on the trip. And then when I got where I was going, I went to the grocery store and bought food for the cabin. And while we were there, I prepared meals while we were there. Didn't go out to eat while we were there. Prepared all the meals, and then with the food that we had cooked while we were there, I packed up and I had food for the trip home. And so, yeah, that part did not have to eat out. Only ate out one time. Is that right? Yeah, I only ate out one time on the road. I did the second night I stayed in the hotel. Breakfast was provided at the hotel, so um, breakfast was included, and they actually had stuff that I could eat, which was pretty amazing. Hey, Auntie Ellen, I didn't plan it that way, GT Junior. It just worked out that way. I knew because where we were going, where the meetup was, we knew that they were going to be cooking on the grill um, the one night, so I got stuff for the grill, and I just got enough that would whatever we cooked the first night, I could eat that for days, and then the next night they had planned a meal for that night as well, but I got some other stuff that could last for those days too. So, fruits and veggies and stuff like that we could do in the cabin. And that's how we travel now. A lot of the times we won't stay at a hotel. We'll stay at an Airbnb because we can go to the grocery store and we prepare our meals, and so we're not eating out. Um, let's see. I cook most of my food. It's always like I'm in the twilight zone, trying to eat out, trying to hard to believe or living like that. Yeah, honestly, when we go out to eat, my husband and I went out to eat Saturday. A lot of times when we go out to eat anymore, it's like, um, what can I eat? What even can I eat? What are my options, or what are the options there, and what can I actually eat? Because a lot of the food is just it's not something that you want anymore. It's just not something that you want, or that you can identify, or that tastes like real food, or that won't put you that won't have you hurting in 30 minutes, or in 4 hours, or whatever. Um, so it's yeah, and we don't go out often. It's like on occasion we'll say you want to go out for dinner. It's like, well, sure, you know where do you want to go? Oh, I don't know. And that's the other thing. Um, we had, my son graduated from university back in May, and so we had family come in for that, and you know, staying. We were in another town, so we're staying in hotels and trying to eat out and all of that, and it was like, woo, you know, it was like, yeah, that was a lot, a lot. Hey, Mr. Sweet Time, saw your face and the kickback. Nice to recognize you. Okay, cool beans. Trying to eat out, trying to believe, yeah, like that. I just finished vacuum sealing 7 T-bone steaks. They were $7.99 a pound today, and I got 8 thick steaks of a little over $100. See, that part, when they go on sale, when I can get a steak for $7.99 a pound, when I can get steak for $7.99 a pound, then I'll get it. But if it's 15 and up a pound, 18, because that's the standing rib roast usually sell around 23 a pound. When it goes on sale for $8.99, $7.99, $6.99 a pound, I'll buy one. I'm not paying 18. There's no way. When 23, I'm not paying 23. There's no way. But when it goes on there, I think I did a video. I think I actually have a video of me slicing them up, vacuum sealing them, putting them in the freezer. Weather conditions for Anchorage. Conditions are partly cloudy with a temperature of 56 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold. The wind is blowing from the west at 9 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 54%. That's cold. Nice DT. Yeah. I can say that, like I said, a couple times a year Publix will put them on sale. And sometimes you can get sometimes Costco will have a whole ribeye on sale for a reasonable per pound price, but you got to be willing to spend $100 or $200, or brisket. You can get a brisket for a decent price, but you are going to spend $200 to get that whole brisket. And it's like you got to be willing to pay the price for that. But I mean, you can eat on it for a while. That's the other thing. It's like it's one of those. It's six one, half dozen of the others. You spend the money. But yeah, I left one pack for $7.99. Grab the others. Yeah, I know that's right. You got to get them when you can. And I have to admit, I don't need to buy any. I don't need to buy any beef probably for three months or so. I've got more beef in the freezer than I want to eat. Um, definitely. And probably don't need any chicken either. But I just haven't been eating that much now. Ribeye is my favorite cut of beef. It's not my favorite. I mean, I will eat a ribeye, but it's not my favorite. Um, oh, your mom was crocheting on Sunday with the hooks that I sent her. Oh, she was so happy. That's good. I'm so glad to hear that. It's amazing. Speaking of your mom, my dad's birthday was last week. He would have been 100 years old. He passed. It's been 21 years. 21 years. I was thinking about that. I was like, that is a long time ago. But I remember um, my son was 5 years old. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. Um, but I'm stuck here because I can't get up. I can't get up. I've fallen and I can't get up. I haven't fallen, but I can't get up. I have to say that the heat has helped. I have had the heat pad on my hip since I've been sitting here. I finally got it situated so I could have it on, and it has definitely helped. So the pain is not near as bad as it was. But yeah, I don't know why it was so bad. and I'm drinking um hibiscus tea. Sweet memories of my dad. Yeah, my mom is 94. Wow, cool. That is way cool. Yeah, I do have. I have fond memories of my dad. Uh, Lots and lots of fond memories of my dad. Um, but yeah, I don't think my children really remember. Like I said, my oldest was 5 years old when dad passed away, so I don't know that he doesn't really remember him, and I know the youngest doesn't remember at all. But I have pictures of them sitting in his lap and his recliner, his daddy's chair. You know, we had daddy's chair in the house. Nobody sat in daddy's chair with daddy, and I have pictures of him holding the boys. I have a picture of my youngest son fishing with my dad. That was so cool because he was a little. He was probably 2, maybe 2.5, and he's fishing with daddy. They're sitting on the creek bank, down on the coast, so it's a wide creek, and they're sitting on a bucket. You know, they turn the bucket upside down, and you sit on the bucket. He's sitting on the bucket with his little pole, sitting beside his grandpa. Uh-huh. It's so cute. Weather for New Haven. Conditions are clear with a temperature of 57 degrees Fahrenheit. It's cold. The wind is blowing from the north northwest at 7 miles per hour, and the current humidity is 70%. That is cold. 57 is cold. Don't y'all know that 57 is cold? That means you don't have the AC on. Uh, it's so weird. I went to PT. What day is this? Today's Monday. I went to PT on Friday, and the guy there, his air conditioner went out, and his wife had stopped by, and she's like, "You got to get this fixed. It's so hot." It was so hot. The heat index was 101 while I was there, and I was like, "Oh my word! Oh my word!" And he was like, "I need to make this call," and I'm like, "Dude, how many reps?" Just how many reps. It's like, go ahead and do, 3 sets of 15. I'm like, all right. I was doing my thing. But yeah, it was hot. And I was like, I get it. I get it. Get on the phone with them, get them out there, get it fixed because heating index was 101. Dude, I have 6 living generations. That is so cool. That is amazing. Wow. Great grandson graduates today. Wow, that is amazing. That is amazing. I'm trying to think who is the eldest. Hazel. Yeah, my cousin Hazel is the eldest now. No, she's not. She's not. That's right. Aunt Lavinia is the eldest now. She's the last one. So yeah, and she's got her, her son, her granddaughter, and her great. She's got 4. Vermont Livanians. There's 4 generations there living. Hazel might have 4 generations. Yeah, my cousin, my oldest. I was saying my oldest cousin, oldest first cousin. Actually, yeah, she's my oldest first cousin. My mom's still trying to get my garden planted out for the summer. Well, it's freezing there, so well, it's not freezing. I know. That's funny. Let me see. Weather conditions for Vaughn. Conditions are showers in the vicinity with a temperature of 74 degrees Fahrenheit. The wind is blowing from the northwest at 0 miles per hour and the current humidity is 100%. Yeah. Auntie Ellen, it's summertime here, full on summertime here, and I've still got stuff to plant. I'm still trying to clean up the beds to get the bed ready to plant stuff in. My mom's third great grandson was baptized Sunday, 1 year old. Oh, okay, cool. That is great. Awesome. Yeah. Blessed baby. Yeah. I have my kids' baptism pictures on the wall. They both wore the same baptism outfit, the same outfit. They're 2.5 years apart, and it's got the big, the big collar. They're short. They're not they weren't gowns. They were little short, little white short sets, but with the big wide collar on it. And they were both about a year old when they were baptized. But yeah, I had their outfit, that picture that on the wall. I love that picture, and it's so funny. um, I'm looking at my youngest. He would walk in the house and he would look at the pictures and he'd go, "Where's me, mommy? Where's me?" And it's like right there, right there, and right there, and right there. He wanted me to point out the pictures that were him. I don't know why he didn't either recognize himself or he just wanted to know if I knew what he looked like. But he would always walk in and look at the pictures and say, "Where's me, mommy?" And their pictures are everywhere. My kids' pictures are everywhere. I mean, they're all over the wall. But yeah, I love those baptism pictures. Um, but yeah. Yeah, I'm winding down, y'all. I'm gonna have to get off of here. GT Junior, you working? What you got going on? What you need to finish up? I might can give you 10 minutes. I don't know though. I might not be able to make it 10 minutes. Yeah. Ooh, goodness gracious. I'm good though. Um, Tomorrow's gonna be an early day. 15 minutes? Okay. 5, 10, 15. My clock is crooked. And I don't know why. It's not been crooked. Somebody must have, yeah. It's like wonky doodle. I'm looking at it going, why is it crooked? But anyways, yeah, maybe. You can do it. You can do it. 15 minutes, please. He said, okay, who is sending me messages at at night? That's what I want to know. Nobody should be sending messages. Oh, Auntie Ellen's sending me messages at night. I'm like, who's sending me pictures at night? I was like, I just finished washing a few pots. I used to clean. Yeah, I finished washing a few of the pots I used to clean. Okay. And I just started a little laundry. Okay. I got you. I got you. Auntie Ellen, why are you sending me pictures while I'm on live? Oh my gosh. He is so cute. He's 1 year old. 35 pounds trying to walk and talk. That's big. That is big. That's a big old boy. Can I show the picture? Can I show the picture on Taylor? Yes or no? That's up to you. Let me know if I can show it. He's cute. That's a big old baby. It's 1:48 and I'll be working in the garage till the sun comes up. What? Are you gonna sleep during the heat of the day? I will head out and drop a few seeds. The sun is still out. The sun is still out. Oh my word. That is funny. The sun is still out. Wow. Yeah, that part. Yeah, are you gonna sleep during the day when it's hot? Since you're working while it's cool. That's one of the things that I was doing the other week when my air conditioner went out, because my air conditioner went out. It went out like on a Friday night, and it was a holiday. And I was like, I'm not calling them until after the holiday. I could have called them and they would have come. They're really good about it. They'll come. They don't even charge you an extra holiday fee or whatever. Um, like, I mean, they could charge more, but they don't. They will come out because it's hot. Literally, it's life threatening hot. And down here, you can show them. He's a little Chuck. He is a little Chuck. Let me see. Just trying to make sure there's nothing else on there. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that? Look at him. Look at that baby. It's so sweet. He's so sweet. I love a chunky baby. My babies were chunky. I have to admit, my babies were chunky. Not quite that big, but close. Both of them were chunky babies. Uh-huh. And they were good eaters too. They still are. They're not small. Neither one of them are small. Both of them are big boys, but they're not overweight. Neither one of them are overweight now. Oh, Josiah, okay. Yep, sleep during the day, taking advantage of the cool rainy night weather to get my last chance to get it done. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I do. I do. I love chunky babies. I um and I guess that part of it is because my niece, my little niece, my great niece actually, um, she was this big when she was born. Literally, she could fit like in my hand, one hand, this big. This is how big she was. Um, and like her little, I think I showed a picture of it. Her little diaper was like a little, yeah, just like a little square. It was like that big. You're like, are you kidding me? Yeah, they're just like, they look like a little pat of butter, you know? You know, if y'all remember growing up as kids when you used to get a little pat of butter on the little white square, that was the size of the pamper. Was and it's like that that is just a scary size when the baby is that big. Her head was smaller than my fist. And then her body and her legs were just nothing. They were practically nothing, but would fit like right in your hand. And that's why I say I love a chunky baby because um, when they're that little, they're every breath you're counting every breath. Like, yeah, yeah, she breathes. She's breathing again. Yes, she's still breathing. Yes, she's still breathing. And yeah, every little breath, and then every little ounce. And if they drink an ounce, it's like, oh, she drank a whole ounce. And it's like, yeah, that part. So, but yeah, love chunky babies, um, with a good appetite. um, but yeah, but that is sweet. That is a blessing. I hope you take lots and lots of pictures of you with the baby, so you guys can look back on them too. Because I love having those baby pictures up on my wall when they when they walk in the house. I'm like, you remember you used to be that little? Nope, you don't remember, but I remember. And now they're big enough that they could literally. I was walking through the we have the living room has a tray ceiling, so it has a little drop. I mean, it's a little bit higher, but it has this little drop down section of it. And I was looking at the ceiling the other day. And I said, the next time they come home, I need to make them clean those fingerprints off my ceiling, because they would literally walk in the room and jump up and hit it with their dirty hands, and there's fingerprints on that ceiling, the wall that goes from the living room into the kitchen, for them doing that so much. And now they yeah, they have to clean it, because I'm not climbing up there to clean that. But it's like, they used to be this big and now they're that big. That big, they're both that big. Both that big. Yeah. uh but yeah. Yeah, I need to put more pictures up. I guess I need to get, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I've got graduation pictures now. I got graduation pictures, so they both graduated. My boys are very muscular, none overweight, athletic. My 55-year-old son just swam 5 miles for cancer. Sweet. Yeah. I mean, I guess my oldest might be a tad overweight. Actually, both of my boys are probably overweight according to the charts. But neither of them are overweight according to the doctors. The uh, their muscles, their solid muscle. I know they both, their body fat. Well, the youngest one is probably less than 15% body fat for sure, and he may be, I don't know where he is right about now. But and the oldest one, yeah, they're musculous. They both work out every day. They the whole nine. They eat right, mostly. They eat right, and take care. And I'm like, I don't know where they got it from. They didn't get it from their mom, because I don't have that gene. But they didn't get a lot of anything. They didn't get anything from me, because they're not my biological children. So, but they, yeah, didn't give them those genes, which is a good thing, because if I had their genes, I would not be talking about the stress in my life causing me to gain weight and me to have a round face. Auntie Ellen, I was talking earlier about my round face, because I've gained 50 pounds, from stress. And I need to do something about it. I need to do something about it. Um, and I'm talking about it because, I need to be held accountable. And so I'm holding myself accountable by talking about it online. So, if and when I turn this around and start handling the stress in my life better and eating better, then, I'll talk about that online a little bit too. Not a lot of it, because this is not a weight loss channel. Um, this is a healthy living channel, and stress comes in our lives, and we do have, stress responses, and that's what I was talking about. My particular stress response is that I want to eat gummy bears, and I didn't mention the gummy bears earlier. I want to eat gummy bears, and I want to eat chocolate cake and ice cream. Um, in fact, I want to eat ice cream so much so that, I feel like, oh, I need to. Yeah, it's another one. That's another one of hers. They're so cute. Auntie Ellen, yeah. Yeah, that part. Yeah. But yeah, yeah, that's my stress response. And I just got to do something about it. I got to do something about it. So there's that. Um, and see, like right now I'm tired, and I need to, get some rest. But what I really want is to go in the kitchen and find something to eat. But I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry at all. Not even a little bit hungry. I just want something to eat. And what do you want to eat? Oh, well, something sweet, of course. And I'll sit here and I'll think about, well, I could could make, and I think about all the ingredients, because this is an ingredient household. I have all the ingredients to make all of the things. Like, if I wanted to, actually, if I wanted to, I have everything I need to make a key lime pie tonight. Now, I'm not going to. I'm just saying, I have everything I need to make it. Or to make lemon bars. Or to make a chocolate pie. I can make a chocolate pie. Mm-hmm. 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 Hmm. See? And I start thinking about, I have everything I need to make a pound cake. I could make a cream cheese pound cake. I can make a sour cream pound cake. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Got everything I need because it's an ingredient household. I can make a chocolate pound cake. I have everything I need. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Heck, I could even make ice cream. I have everything I need to make ice cream. It wouldn't be ready tonight, but I could, yeah, yeah, that part. See, this is when you live in an ingredient household. I've always lived in an ingredient household. I have all of the things. I have all of the staples in my house all the time, that I could make. Mm, 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 mm. That part. Blackberry cobbler. Ooh, 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 sweet potato. Mm-mm. My cousin made a sweet potato cinnamon roll cake. Who does that? I have to keep three different options of fruit and keep me some celery in the refrigerator. I have blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, plums, apples, grapes in there. So I could make a fruit salad. I could make a cobbler. I could make blueberry or blackberry dumplings or a cobbler or pie. Um, stop, 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 stop. That part. I got one candy roaster left. I might make a spice cake with it. Ooh, look at you. I got some candy roaster seeds. I need to drop some in the ground because I got plenty of time to grow some, and the squash bug should be about done. So I might could get some. Yeah. Actually, I might have some candy roaster in the freezer, and I could make a pie out of that. I might have candy roaster in the freezer. If I don't have candy roaster, then I've got Kusha for sure in the freezer. I know I've got one in the freezer for sure. He's like, do it, do it. I'm not making no dessert. Mike, you're not helping. It's a good thing that making any of those isn't on the 3 item list. Exactly. It's not on the list. Making none of that is on the list. But that's what I'm saying. I'm sitting here and I think about, oh, I can make this, I can make this, I can make this. Candy roaster is not that sweet, but it's as sweet as a sweet potato. Yes. So yeah, you can make a pie out of it. You're gonna have to add a little bit of sugar to it, but yeah, yeah, it's sweet. It's sweet as a sweet potato. That part. Why do you think they call it candy roaster? You put it in the oven and you roast it, and it's as sweet as candy. They're really good roasted too. The kabocha squash is sweeter. I have not grown the kabocha squash, so I don't know about that one. Yeah, but yeah, it's like, yeah, yeah, that part. I could make something. And I want something. I want something sweet, but I don't need it. That's the part. I do not need it. That's crazy. Yeah, don't need any of that. I need to just go to bed and set my alarm so I can get up early in the morning and do the things that I need to do. Get them done earlier in the day before it gets too hot. So when it gets hot, I can be at home and have the lights turn out and chill and read my book. That part. That part. But I'm still thinking about. I cooked before I came online. I cooked some chicken legs. I put them in the oven and cooked them before I came online, and so I have to put those away. Um, put those in the refrigerator when I get off of here. Um, but yeah, and then I need to finish loading the dishwasher. Um, and run so I can run that tonight because I like to run it at night when there's less demand for energy. So I try to run it at night. So I need to do that when I get off of here, and that'll be that. So that'll be cool. But so I do have to go in the kitchen. So I gotta go in the kitchen, but I don't have to eat anything when I go in the kitchen. And also I don't have do I have anything? I don't think I have anything sweet other than fruit. I have fruit. But I have fruit, but I've already had fruit today. So GT Junior needs to come help me plant my starts and hydroponics out. GT GT, can you go help Auntie Ellen? We need to plan a road trip, Auntie Ellen. I need a road trip to Connecticut. I've never been to Connecticut. I don't think I've ever been to Connecticut. I don't recall having gone to Connecticut. I may have gone on it as a child, but yeah. But I need to, well, yeah, we need a road trip. Yeah, get to work, GT Junior. Get to work so I can come and see you in Connecticut. Um, but I got to figure out a good time to go because I can't go when it's cold. That is out. I will not be going. Will not be going when it's cold. Um, and it can't go when it's hot either. So we got to figure out the perfect time. What? I've been struggling these last few weeks. You'll feed us? Auntie Ellen, you don't need to feed me. That's the problem that I have. I need the people to stop feeding me now. I've been struggling these last few weeks getting 3 jobs. So Jay Jocks is getting to me. I understand that I have no jobs and it gets to me. That part. Yeah. I need to figure it out. I have yeah, I don't know. The the problem that I have with traveling is I suffer after traveling. So yeah, that part. But anyways, it is what it is. Y'all, I'm gonna have to get off of here. Gigi Junior, are you done? Because I gotta go. I'm getting tired. I need to get off of here. I need to get to bed because I have things to do tomorrow. But it was good hanging out with you guys. I'm so glad you came and hung out with me. It's always good to see you. Let me see if we can get this thing to work tonight. There you go. That's for y'all. And let's see if we can get this to work. There you go. That's for y'all. Y'all have a good evening. I will be probably back online next week, if all goes well. So I'll see you in these YouTube streets. Check out my videos. I've been dropping some shorts lately. I'm going to be dropping some long form videos as well. So check them out, and share me out. Bye, y'all.